sending troops into his region. Let's get more from David Doyle.
Mengistab Abrakai says he doesn't know where his children are. Like at least 20,000 others, according to the United Nations, he's fled Ethiopia's Tigray region amid an escalating conflict in which it has been claimed neighboring Eritrea is now involved. At the Sudanese border town of Hamdayat, Mengistab says he ran from looting, stealing and killing. Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed sent the military into Tigray after accusing forces there of attacking the national army. On Sunday, Tigray's leader, Debretsion Gebremichael, accused neighbouring Eritrea of also sending in tanks and thousands of troops and said his forces had retaliated with rockets fired at the Eritrean capital. It's precisely the kind of escalation that raises fears the regional conflict could spread in the Horn of Africa. But with communications cut and access to Tigray limited, reports are difficult to verify. Certainly, there's no love lost between Tigray and Eritrea. The former was on the front line of the 1998-2000 Ethiopia-Eritrea war. And though Abiy won a Nobel Prize for making peace with his northern neighbour, Eritrea remains distrustful of the Tigrayan leadership. On Sunday, Abiy said Ethiopia was capable of achieving its objectives in Tigray by itself, without specifically addressing Debretsion's claim. Government officials in Ethiopia and Eritrea could not be immediately reached for comment, though Eritrea's foreign minister last week denied his country had sent troops. However, in Hamdayat, several refugees did claim their areas had been shelled from the Eritrean side. Several regional diplomats also backed up Debretsion's report of rockets being fired at the Eritrean capital Asmara, saying 3 were fired from Ethiopia on Saturday, with at least 2 hitting the airport. Rockets were also allegedly fired at 2 airports in Amhara state, which borders Tigray to the south. The Tigrayan People's Liberation Front, which governs Tigray and is chaired by Debretsion, said that was retaliation for government airstrikes in their region. Abiy's government says the strikes are targeting arms depots controlled by the battle-hardened Tigrayan forces, who experts say possess significant military hardware.
Now, the number of people who have fled into Sudan from the conflict in northern Ethiopia has risen to at least 20,000, according to the UN Refugee Agency. Local and UN agencies are now trying to assist the refugees who have been arriving in growing numbers with few possessions or provisions, some in boats, some swimming or wading through rivers.
The situation is very bad, to put it mildly. There are about 15,000 people here right now who've basically arrived over the last 5 days. We are starting to provide assistance services with UNHCR, WFP, the Sudanese Red Cross, Muslim Aid, and other service providers. And you can see some start of an assistance provision, but much more needs to be done. This is very close to the border. This is Hamdayat town. The community has been very generous. What we see here as well is that the Hamdayat community has provided support to the refugees. They've provided a local tent. We see that in the background. They have given food and they have given other items. So this is also a big thank you to the local community here who are very burdened with this.
U.S. President-elect Joe Biden's incoming chief of staff says the federal government needs to sign off on transition team efforts this week so that Biden's team can receive national